What's up, my dudes? The Turley beats the Hare. Oh my gosh, man. Like, consistency is at least 1,000 times more important than speed in this game. I mean, it just is, man. It's insane. But this is my 450 heat race from Tampa. So, did a little bumping and grinding on that start there. Now, with this video, I'm actually trying a different setting on the recording here, so it should be not quite as dark and shady dungeon action going on like some of my other MX Simulator videos have been. Hopefully, definitely let me know in the comments if this looks better. So for some of you guys that have been watching a lot of my MX Simulator videos, you'll notice this one's definitely going to be a little bit brighter. So I think this looks more like what I'm actually seeing when I'm playing the game, instead of like a darker version than what I'm seeing. I think it's more accurate to what I'm actually seeing. See, with a lot of different recording settings, they darken everything for whatever reason, so you've got to actually like brighten it up just a little bit. I didn't actually brighten it up. I'm actually using a certain setting, pre-made setting in the recording software that looks a little better to me, basically, is all there is to it. So, but definitely let me know if it looks better or worse in the comments. And there is something weird with, like with certain MX Simulator videos. When you upload them to YouTube, they sort of get that snow falling effect to them, is what I like to call it, where they get that real grainy look to them. If any guys know what I'm talking about, like it won't actually have that weird effect to it in the recording of the video itself, but as soon as you upload it to YouTube, it gets that grainy, like weird look. It's like YouTube's system of like rendering down the video or whatever. Like it kind of lowers the quality down, but it only really does. It's only super noticeable on videos that, like certain videos that'll have snow, like confetti flying or snow falling in the video, and you'll get that real, like almost distorted, low resolution look, even though it's 1080p. And I noticed that in some of my MX Simulator videos. I don't know what's necessarily causing that. I don't know if it's doing the 60 frames per second on the MX Simulator videos. I don't know why in the hell that would cause that, but it could be, possibly. I don't know if it's like the actual dirt on the track is so high resolution that it's causing that sort of snow effect to it, because it can almost look like it's like got such a high resolution to the dirt, it's almost got like a confetti look to it. Maybe that's causing it. I don't know, because, you know, I noticed it ever since I started doing the super high quality videos, like with my new PC, basically. That's where I really started noticing it. Like, for instance, if you don't really have your settings turned high, then everything has more of a smoothed out Play-Doh look to it, which to me would seem like that would benefit a YouTube video, because it's not going to have nowhere near as apt to have that that sort of like snowfall effect to it, where it gets that grainy look. I don't know. I'm just saying that in this video to see if any of you guys know what the hell causes that, because I don't know. I just noticed it on some MX Simulator videos, and I do see it, that grainy look, in other people's videos as well, so I don't know. But it's kind of stupid, because like the higher it seems like you make your settings, the lower quality it actually ends up being on YouTube. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it seems like. I don't know exactly what's causing that for MX Simulator in particular here. But either way, I was riding this race out super consistent, bro. Like, not even worried at all. Just chilling back in ninth. I was like, dog, whatever, you can take eighth. I don't even want to try to fuck around and crash right here. I was like, just chilling, man. Not too worried. Had a couple little weird crashes there at the beginning, but got my ass back in gear and got back to it. Now, the main event in this race, I did make it to the main event, by the way, but I'm not really doing a video on that. It's just like 15 minutes or 20 minutes worth of getting swallowed by the E-Road, literally, is basically all there is to it. Like, had a decent start in the main event. I was running like in 9th, 10th, ran like that for a good amount of time, and then just, it's like I would hit one little eroded rut just a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, and then instantly the front end lock would hit the bike and it would go down, and then the race just kind of went to shit from there. all the way through on it and ended up getting like, I think I got 15th or 14th or something like that. So I guess it was good to make it into another main event. See, what's crazy about that is you think like, oh, you feel really good if you finish good in one main event, right? Like you would feel really good if you got 5th in one main event. But if you got 5th in one main event and missed every single other main event, that's worse than getting like 19th in every main event. You understand what I'm saying? Like 22nd in a main event is better than not making it in the main event. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you can kind of get frustrated getting like 11ths and 15ths and shit like that over and over, but you can't be too mad because you're making it in the main events versus not making it in the main events, right? Like I haven't really been making it in a lot of main events, so I can't be too mad about that. But yeah, dude just rode me a little consistency race here, and that Ryan Dungey strategy can definitely pay off in MX Simulator without a doubt, man. These heat races feel way longer than they used to. I don't know, man. They used to be like 6 laps. Now they're like 8 laps. Everything's like 2 laps more than it used to be, it seems like. I don't know, man. Makes it definitely a little, it's all in how you look at it. Gives you more time to get to the front or more time to get your ass past. I mean, I'm a big fan of more laps just in general, but it just seems weird that like a heat race is 8 laps. I don't know. It just seems like a lot, but maybe that's just me thinking that. But I mean, it's cool by all means. Gives you a little bit more time to possibly get up in that position. But yeah, so with this track right here, I mean, I kind of like it. I know it's weird. I know it's kind of got a weird feeling to it, but something about it, I kind of like the way the track is. Now, there is this aspect of, I don't even understand why they have a sand section when the whole track feels like a sand track. They've had that on a couple of tracks this year. I know they have said that their traction has been the same on all the tracks. I don't know what it is that makes it feel like that, but like for instance, I think it was round 2, and then they had another track in there. What was that other one? Damn, I'm not remembering it right off the top of my head. Oh, shit. There was another one in, I know round 2, this track right here, Tampa, and then there was another one out there. All those tracks felt like the entire tracks were sand. I don't know why, but in comparison to some of the other tracks, for whatever reason, they had that feeling to them, and this one definitely has that as well. I really liked how they put this section together, though. This was a fun quad right here. You had to time it out. And now you can actually triple this, and that's either, yeah, it's a quad. You can quad over. I didn't do it right there, but you can quad over and then jump another quad in that last rhythm, which is super difficult, man. So ended up just like cruising to a 6 right here. Just kept myself out of trouble and got past a lot of those super fast bunny rabbits out there. But yeah, kind of made it happen. Here, I'll play this back in some third person right quick, just to kind of goof off and talk a little more here. So yeah, basically just kind of rode a chill race. I won't go through this whole race back again in third person here. I'm still on a conversation note here. So, and I also wanted to test and see how this looked in third person with this new kind of recording setting as well. So yeah, this one section right here, it was cool, kind of how it was a little bit difficult to get that triple in if you took the inside. But what was interesting is the E-Road actually built up a lot of an inside rut, so it did make it a little bit easier towards the end of the main event, but it was still pretty tricky. But yeah, this super crazy section right here, that this was one of those tracks where you could literally qualify 2 seconds a lap quicker than you would ever run in the actual race. Like, it's just one of those sections where, especially, oh, what the fuck happened right there? I don't even know. I slid a little bit, and that dude was coming in hot. But yeah, so like that section, if you hit it, it's going to save you at least a full second or 2, my dude, without a doubt. So it was one, but it was one of those, especially if you have E-Road, like, you're not going to be able to hit that in a race scenario, especially not in like a, when you get later on down the laps and you've got other people around you and you're trying to keep a consistent race going, you ain't going to hit that one crazy-ass rhythm, whereas it wouldn't be all that crazy to go for it in qualifying. It's not that big of a deal if you crash. I'm not talking about this rhythm right here. This one was fairly easy, but this one right here, you know, I don't know hardly any of the 450 guys that was actually trying to do that, but it was one of those that where it was like, it was possible, but it was super, super, super difficult. So, this was one of those races where, damn, almost got hit right there. This is one of those races where the difference between your fastest lap time in qualifying and your like 40th rider was like, I don't know, 7 seconds or some shit, like something crazy like that, where it's usually like a 3-second gap. I feel like the 3-second kind of having like from the fastest dude to the slowest 40th position dude, having like a 3-second gap right there means you've got a pretty well-made track, in my opinion. When it gets up to like the 7-second differential, it means that there's just one or two sections on the track that you're going to hit like once in a lifetime, and someone just managed to do it in qualifying and get a fast lap. That's basically what that means, you know. So, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those sections, man, just one of them gnarly sections, dude. Like, more gnarly than your normal gnarly. You know what I mean? Like 2 times gnarly, basically. But, yeah, it's a fun little heat race. Now I went back to a older gearing for this race, like the gearing that I've started on with MX Simulator, basically the gearing that I grew up on. I went back to that, and I'd had a gearing, I went to a different gearing, like 2 years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, and I don't know, I'm trying to like figure out if my mind's just playing tricks on me, or if it's just, I'm just not putting enough time into the game, or what it is. I don't know. But this gearing to me, this old school gearing, it's like I'm more consistent with it. Maybe I'm a little bit slower, like 10% slower, but I just feel way more consistent with it. So, I don't know, like it just feels like it kind of flows around the corners more naturally, and I can really get down the downside faces of jumps better, and not like, it's like for whatever reason, the gearing, it's like I can really get it in the perfect gear better than I could that other gearing, but that other gearing has its positives too. Like it seems a little more smoother out of like long flat corners and certain stuff like that, but I don't know, it's crazy. Like this is going to sound crazy, but I almost feel like to a certain extent a slower setup is almost faster, but especially when you're in the back of the pack, because it's like you don't ride above your head to where you just crash into people. It's like you're going a little bit slower to where you can see people crash before you run into them. I know it sounds so stupid, like to have a slower setup. I'm not really meaning it exactly like that. I'm meaning it like it's the way the bike like gearing is. It's not so, you don't get going so fast that you just can't even figure out what the hell's going on. You know, it makes everything a little bit smoother. I don't know. So, I don't know if I'm going to keep this gearing here, but I might try it for one more race. But yeah, I mean, it just felt like the past couple of rounds, it was like I was really, really struggling. You know, really struggling to just make it in on a heat race. And for whatever reason, you can call it luck, or you can just call it the way I was gelling with this gearing. It's all in, you know, kind of tricky how you look at it there, but I mean, it was like simple, easy, breezy making it into this heat race. It was just like, felt like I was barely even, and of course my lap times are absolute shit, so obviously I wasn't going very fast at all, but I don't know, it's that weird, like, even if you're not going that fast, as long as you feel like comfortable and consistent on the bike, a lot of times that matters more than the speed aspect. It's fucking crazy how that is in this game, but I may go back to that other, I think that what it is that other gearing I was using, it's a lot of power and a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to be on it to use that sort of gearing. You've got to be like playing the game every motherfucking day. You cannot miss a day. It's not one of those gearings where it's like, you play it this day and then you hop on it after not playing the game for 5 days and you still feel comfortable. It's not like that. You got to play it every single day to have that comfort feeling, whereas this gearing here feels like I could just not even play the game for 10 days and it would feel comfortable coming back to it. But, so yeah, either way, I don't know. I may go back, may keep it on this. We'll just have to I'll see, do some more testing during this next week and kind of see where I'm at there. But either way, yeah, just fun little heat race, kind of chilling, not getting too riding out of my head here, and ended up coming all the way back to 6th there at the end, so that was kind of cool. after having quite a few crashes there. But yeah, main event was just rough, man. This particular gearing here, for whatever reason, it seems like it wears me out a lot more. Like it, like physically, not only my hands, it's like I'm having to do a little more on the bike, so it's like wearing my hands out quicker. But also, it's like it takes maybe a little bit more throttle control out of the corner with this gearing. So that was kind of like, I felt really good at the beginning of the main event. I was like cruising in 9th and 10th, and I was like, shit, man, we're just going to ride this whole race out right here and get like 5th or something, or 4th. And it just really started catching up to me once we got in that like 10 laps in, 11 laps in, that E-road starts hitting, and everything starts getting real quick. That's kind of when my main event started to fall apart there, and then it just had a couple of really stupid crashes, had a couple of weird pop-offs, like I would barely come up short on like that jump right there and pop off, little shit like that. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Shout out to SquidSquadSTL.com. Got some of the cheapest motocross shirts out there. Definitely go check him out. And don't forget, all of my MX Simulator Pro Race videos are on my front page. I got a playlist for that. So yeah, man, hopefully we'll be doing better in the future. It's just going to take some work and kind of figuring out some different things with the E-Road. I feel like it requires almost a different kind of setup. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like it does, because it just creates a whole different track than what you're used to riding on there. So we'll try to get it going here, but either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.